Okay, so try to imagine this for a second. You're trying to have a really important conversation, right? But the room you're in, well, the music is just deafening. And the walls themselves are actually, like, vibrating. Your words, they just disappear, vanish into the noise. That's pretty much the daily reality for orcas in our oceans today. For them, their clicks, their whistles, their calls, that's not just chatting. It's absolutely fundamental for survival, for hunting, coordinating their families, navigating miles and miles of water.
And this isn't an abstract idea. It's a genuine crisis, especially for the southern resident killer whales. They're critically endangered. We're talking fewer than 80 individuals left. And this constant underwater noise, it's a catastrophic threat to them finding food, mostly salmon, and just staying connected as family units.
Right. So our mission in this deep dive is to look into something pretty fascinating. Could artificial intelligence, AI, actually offer a lifeline here? Could it help turn these noisy shipping highways back into, well, seas where these animals can actually live and thrive? Let's really dig into this noise problem. It's more than just background sound, isn't it? These global shipping lanes, they create this constant low-frequency roar. I read that large ships can raise background noise by over 30 decibels in key habitats. That's like going from a quiet library to, I don't know, living right next to a busy freeway. For an orca, I mean. But what does that noise actually do to them?
Oh, it's incredibly disruptive, profoundly so. This noise, it literally masks their echolocation, the way they see with sound. So finding salmon, which are already hard to come by, becomes much, much harder.
Yep.
And it constantly interrupts the communication they need within their pods. It can cause them to spread out, maybe even get lost from each other. And on top of all that, there's chronic stress. It weakens their immune systems, hits their reproduction hard. It's a pretty brutal equation, really. More ship noise means fewer fish found, fewer calves born, and ultimately fewer orcas surviving.
That sounds incredibly grim. But okay, here's where things get interesting. There's apparently a solution, or at least a mitigation, that sounds surprisingly simple. Something about just slowing ships down a bit.
Exactly. Research shows that slowing a large ship by just 10, maybe 20% can cut the underwater noise it generates by nearly half.
Half? That's huge.
It is. And the benefits ripple outwards. Obviously, a clearer soundscape for the whales. But also less fuel used by the ships. Lower CO2 emissions, maybe around 13% less CO2 for a 10% speed reduction.
Wow. Okay.
And it even makes the seas safer, reducing the risk of ships actually hitting whales.
Okay, if it's that effective and has all these other benefits, why isn't it happening everywhere? What's the holdup?
Well, that's the tricky part. Permanent, mandatory speed limits everywhere. That's expensive for the shipping industry. And honestly, it's not always needed if the whales aren't actually there. The real challenge is timing and location. You need a smarter way.
A more dynamic approach.
Precisely.
Yeah.
A real-time system that knows when and where the whales are.
And that's where the AI concept comes in. Silent seas AI, let's call it. So the idea is you'd have these AI-trained hydrophones, underwater microphones, listening for orca calls.
Exactly. Placed strategically, listening constantly. Then machine learning comes in to distinguish the whale calls from, all the other ocean sounds. And it gets better over time. Then you integrate that detection data with existing vessel tracking systems like AIS.
The system ships already use to see each other?
That's the one. So the system links detected whales to nearby ships in real time.
And then this sends an alert.
Yes, an instant alert directly to the ship's bridge. Something like, orcas detected 5 nautical miles ahead. Please reduce speed to 10 knots.
So you create these temporary moving quiet zones around the whales.
Dynamic quiet zones, exactly. They adapt as the whales move. It's much smarter than fixed blanket restrictions.
That makes a lot of sense.
And think broader, too. Quieter seas aren't just good for orcas. They benefit so many other marine animals, other whales, dolphins, fish.
Right.
Plus those climate gains from reduced fuel use we mentioned. And potentially, this kind of system could be scaled up, used globally. A blueprint for, well, more sustainable oceans.
It sounds very promising, but there must be challenges, right? Getting the tech right, getting industry on board.
Oh, absolutely. Data quality from hydrophones over vast areas, that's a big one. Technical hurdles, logistical ones. And yes, convincing the shipping industry, developing the right policies, and maybe incentives. That's crucial.
But solvable hurdles, opportunities maybe.
I think so. Opportunities for innovation, for partnerships between conservation groups, tech companies, and the maritime industry.
It's quite something, isn't it? The same kind of human ingenuity that led to global shipping, which inadvertently created this noise problem.
Is now potentially giving us the tools to fix it in a really precise, adaptive way that old-school regulation couldn't quite manage.
Yes, Science's AI really highlights what's possible when you mesh ecological understanding with artificial intelligence, letting the machines listen,
But
essentially.
it can finally be heard.
Exactly.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Those southern resident killer whales, they are right at the tipping point. Their survival really hangs in the balance now. So this deep dive, it shows us that using AI to listen, it isn't just about saving a particular species, as vital as that is. It's maybe about fundamentally rethinking our relationship with the ocean. It shows how the health of our oceans and, really, our own future are completely intertwined. So maybe the final thought is this. Let AI listen. Let the ships respond. Let the orcas be heard. For more insights like this, where we try to simplify the complex, make sure you subscribe to The Deep Dive wherever you get your podcasts.